All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99 back with another one of these Corner Talk videos. All right, y'all, as y'all know, when I talk Corner Talk, I'm talking about a certain situation with a particular fighter, just as far as giving them advice or constructive criticism in certain situations. Like if people ask me on what a particular fighter needs to work on, that's what I talk about in these videos. You know, I'm not here to try to bash a fighter or troll a fighter or put them down or anything like that. But as somebody who's sitting back watching a particular fight, and a certain fighter is not doing certain things, you know, in my mind, I'm gonna be like, okay, they need to do this, they need to do that, right? I think that just goes with anybody. I mean, you do have couch critics, right? But there's a difference between a couch critic and somebody that's actually analyzing a fight. You know what I mean? And I feel like when I'm sitting down watching these fights, somebody that's studied the fight game for a long time, you know, I'm just saying, okay, this is what a particular fighter needs to be doing in there. This is what they need to do. This is what they need to do to be successful, right? And I think a lot of people feel that way on this channel. Whenever they watch fighters, they can say, okay, this person needs to jab. This person needs to work on their takedown defense and so on, right? And that's why I came up with these Corner Talk videos like a couple of years ago. And like I said, I don't really get a chance to do them as much as I want to, but I felt I had to come through and do one for this fighter here. Y'all know who I'm talking about, because some people ask me, like, what does she need to do to get to this next level? Or can she make it to this next level? Well, it's all on her. And y'all know I'm talking about Mackenzie Dern, right? A couple of weeks ago, Mackenzie Dern took on Jessica Andrade, and some people felt like her style played perfectly into Jessica Andrade's style. But myself, I was saying, okay, you know, I could see this fight being 50-50. I think Mackenzie Dern has a chance in this fight. And to me, she did have a chance. You know, when she went in there, she was landing punches on Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade wasn't like this totally new fighter, right? She wasn't really bringing anything exactly new to the table. She just was able to use the same things that she did against a target that was doing the same thing over and over again, that still needs to work on certain things in their game, right? And that's why I wanted to talk about Mackenzie Dern in this one, because if she doesn't get to that next level, if she doesn't improve in these certain departments, she's not getting to that next level. I'm going to just be honest, right? There's a certain level that she can still go in there and be dangerous on the ground against certain fighters, or she can, you know, she can impose her jiu-jitsu or some of her physical attributes. But if she's not putting it all together and she's not stepping out of the box, then she's going to be stuck, you know. And I always thought of Mackenzie Dern as a fighter that likes to learn. You know, she likes to learn. She seems like she likes to listen, but there's still a lot of things that she just resorts to, just like Jessica Andrade. And that's why I felt like that fight was 50-50, because Jessica Andrade and Mackenzie Dern, they both tend to fight off emotion sometimes, and they'll resort back to their old ways. They just won't completely stick to a new game plan. And I think that's where Mackenzie Dern fails sometimes. So for this video, let's go ahead and talk about Mackenzie Dern and a couple of things, or like 3 things I'll say that she needs to change as far as moving forward. Like I said, it's not to put her down. It's not to put her trainers down. But if I was in her corner, these are some of the things that I would say Mackenzie Dern need to work on. All right. Number 1 is footwork. All right. Number 1, Mackenzie Dern needs to work on that footwork. And that's something I've been saying like since day one, since I seen her. Even when she started improving her punches, I've said, this girl right here, no, what she needs to work on is her footwork. I think she understands punch placement a little bit more and how to throw power punches. But if your footwork's not right, nothing's right. All right. You know, Dern, she's been working on her punches. She's landing better, but the big downfall is her footwork. She's still tripping up, and she's not fully on balance. I don't know if it was just her trying to duck Andrade's power in this particular fight, but she was too keen on moving straight back and just running out of range and shorting herself on opportunities for clean strikes. She did land some clean strikes. Yes, she landed a lot of clean strikes, but she couldn't really sit on her shots and be physical with Andrade because her balance on the last 2-3 shots she would throw was off. You know, Andrade would crack her. You know, Andrade would still crack her because she was off balance, because when she stepped in, she didn't know how to reset or pivot. Instead of blitzing in and out, she needed to circle in and out. You know, instead of going straight in and out, you know, you kind of have to take a diagonal approach, or just circle out or circle in and make Andrade reset. Don't reset yourself. You know, one thing about Dern is she's not 50-50 on her balance. That's where she's failing. Instead of putting the force into her punches, she's throwing herself forward, so her upper body is moving faster at times than her feet. So her feet can't catch up, and she's ending up in these awkward positions. So she doesn't have time to position herself or reset herself or pivot out of danger. So whenever she throws 1, 2, 3, 4, by 3 and 4, she's tripping up, and Andrade can catch her with a couple of those hooks on the sweet spot, right on the chin. And also, when she throws that 3, 4, sometimes once Andrade ate a couple, but all Andrade did when the next shot was coming, she stepped to the side, and Mackenzie Dern fell, right? I know y'all saw that. Like, I mean, she threw the 3, 4, she landed a couple shots, but then when Andrade stepped to the side, she fell over. So footwork is a big thing she needs to work on. I think she needs to do more foot drills, she needs to do more jump rope and just run. Sometimes run, that gives you a chance to, kind of work on your balance. You can sidestep when you're doing drills, run, do these little agility exercises, all these different types of drills, dancing more, dancing that gets fighters even like Lomachenko. You've seen him work on his footwork through dancing. Those are some of the key things to make you a little bit more light on your feet. I mean, she just need to watch fighters like Rose Namajunas too, like how they utilize their footwork in MMA, from boxing to MMA, and even watch Floyd Mayweather. Watch these fighters, how important balance is to them, right? Like, once you have perfect balance, you can throw those punches and make perfect placement, and you can reset and land a couple more instead of tripping yourself up or shorting yourself. So number one, she's really got to work on that footwork, because until she doesn't get that right, she's going to continue to lose, because fighters are going to exploit it. They're going to move out of harm's way. Or fighters like Andrade, they're going to just wait for her to get off a couple shots and then start ripping that leg, and then they're going to land them hard shots to the chin because they know she's not going to have the power, or they'll just let her fall over. So yeah, footwork, that's number one I need to see from her. Number two, well, you could say number two is basically like a tie here. It's basically a tie. Defense. All right, defense is a big one. I think this is really an obvious one. Dern's chin is not the hardest thing to find, man, for real. Her chin is not the hardest thing to find. She really needs to learn how to keep that chin down and just take her head off the line, man. Like, throughout this fight, throughout the Marina Rodriguez fight, throughout the Yan Xiaonan fight, this girl, she'll just like run in and just keep her chin right up, And that's the thing I don't understand. Like, when she's learning striking, it's like you have to understand, like, once you're in the pocket and you're throwing punches, understand that people are going to throw punches just like you. Okay, when you're throwing strikes at somebody's chin, they're not just going to stand there. You're not facing a heavy bag. You're not facing a heavy bag. When you step in to hit somebody in the chin, believe me, they're going to hit you in the chin as well. So you have to be prepared for that. So every time you looked at Mackenzie Dern in these exchanges, she was just giving Andrade clear targets. She was giving her a clear target. Much like Andrade was giving her a clear target, she was just stepping right in. Like, every time she would throw her jab, her head's right there on the line. It wasn't hard to find at all. That's why I say for Mackenzie Dern moving forward, she's got to just start tucking her chin more, keeping her head down, because you'd rather get hit on the top of the head. That's the hardest part of where you can really hurt somebody's hand, instead of, giving up your chin. One shot from Andrade or anybody can put you down. So, keeping that chin tucked, taking her head off the line a little bit more when she throws her jabs, and even when she's stepping in, she's got to kind of have more of a slouch to her stance, where her shoulders more on the line and her head is off the line, because that'll give her targets a harder thing to find, harder target to find. So defense is a big part, man. And just just being a little bit more slick, like, part of defense is timing. Make your timing off, your rhythm. That's why I say dancing and playing music whenever you spar or shadow box it's like a big part of improving your timing, because it'll put you into a certain rhythm that you dictate at your own pace. You know what I mean? You can always switch it up. Your opponent, they'll struggle to find it out, right? So once you're able to do that, that'll also add to your defense. But right now, number one, she's really got to learn how to keep her head off the line. Keeping her head off the line is a big part, because don't keep your head off the line, hey, your chin ain't going to last forever. And this fight here was proof this past couple weeks ago, all right? So, yeah, so far, footwork, defense. Number three might be a little bit longer to explain or harder to explain. Well, let me see how would I go about this. Number three, I would say one of the things she needs to change is her approach and her style, all right? This one basically is overall her plan of attack. Truthfully, Dern, she's not a striker, but she's not a pure striker. All right, she's not a pure striker. She has power. She'll let those straight strikes go. But a fighter like her really needs to work towards her strengths in a fight. All right, she can't spend countless minutes on the feet trying to knock girls out, trying to outbox girls, or trying to outbox someone, because she resorts to too many reckless things. And there's too many fighters in the division that have a higher striking IQ. Strawweight is a striker-oriented division, all right? It's a striker-oriented division. There's a lot of faster girls that are lighter on their feet, and they have quicker hands than her, right? And she's already lost to two of them that have better hands, right? Someone like Dern, to me, has to use their striking just as an attack to get her opponents into range and to do damage. You know, she has to strike with the intention to get on the inside and take her opponent down or knock them down when she gets in there, or just create damage so she can get her hands on them. All right. She can't keep striking on her feet, you know, stand on the outside for points or looking to pot shot or match her opponent's speed or power. She has to hit them to hurt them with more, with more pressure. All right. Because when you look at Dern, look, she's not utilizing it right now, and I don't think she's really being trained like that, or maybe she feels uncomfortable doing it. But to me, Dern is a physical fighter. Like, she's physical on the ground, but she needs to be physical more when she's standing up. She's a physical fighter. You know, she's got that BJJ advantage over a lot of strawweights, but to get it in there, she has to have that plan where the fight starts on the feet, where she understands it starts on the feet. She's got to understand the fight starts on the feet. So from there, she's got to be mauling, and she's got to be inside. She's got to be in the chest of these fighters. You know, Blanchfield, whose strength is BJJ, is definitely mastering a strong plan of attack for some of these fights that she's won by submission. She didn't get the fight to the ground with ease. You know, even against JJ Aldrich, she was getting outstruck. She made the adjustments to get on the inside, getting outstruck by Tyler Santos. And what did she do? She made it a clinch fest against the cage fight, right? You know, she had to use her hands in a way that could disrupt her opponents and get her in. You know, her striking wasn't really meant to just go in there and try to outbox Tyler Santos or JJ Aldrich. She used it to land punches and do damage on him. You know, she landed those punches to do damage. You know, disrupt them, like I said. Her striking and her punches, for me, like Blanchfield, they look solid, and they don't have to look flashy. You know, they don't have to look flashy. All they got to do is work to try to get what you need to do. Erin, you know, she took a few leg kicks from Andrade. That, you know, when you go back and look at that fight, she took a few leg kicks from Andrade, but she was able to pull back, and she kept slamming that jab in Andrade's face. You know, she didn't run. She didn't run. Like, Mackenzie would land punches, but sometimes she would dip way out of range. See, Erin, she knew she had to be physical in that type of fight, so she would step out of range a few times, but she went into the fire. You know, she went into the fire. She kept slamming punches in Andrade's face, and she would bump Andrade back. That's why I say somebody like Mackenzie Dern, with her size and, you know, her frame, she needs to be physical. When she lands punches, she needs to start bumping fighters back with her shoulder and pushing them, you know, and bullying them and using that size. You know, that's what Erin did. She made Andrade feel her weight and her power, and she smothered her right off top. You know, Blanchfield stayed in that chest. She circled out every now and then to reset her position, but she was still slamming 1-2s off and backing Andrade up. When Erin, you know, she sensed that the fight was starting to go her way and Andrade couldn't hurt her, that's when she upped the ante, and she said, okay, now it's time to go on the inside and start out muscling and finish this girl off, and we get her down to the ground and submit her. So I think somebody like Mackenzie Dern, she has that style that could get her this. She has that type of frame, and she should take that type of approach like Erin Blanchfield, because both of them, you know, they're great submission artists. And I think once they work towards doing more damage with their punches and just trying to be some type of flashy striker, you know, they can go in there and maul with their size, and then eventually wear their opponents down and get them to the ground. Like Erin, you know, she's worked on cardio, stamina's good, you know, her chin's good, you know, her punching power is decent. Same thing could be said for Mackenzie Dern if she takes this approach. You know, she could go in there and muscle and maul a lot of these girls, and then use her grappling skills, even against the cage, to her advantage. You know, Macy Barber, she's another example, you know, that's adding another dimension to her style. You know, a lot of cage fighting now and using heavy elbows, you know. So, yeah, Mackenzie Dern, she just got to start looking at what she has off top, you know what I mean? Like the natural abilities that she had, just looking at her size compared to the strawweight. She said, okay, well, I'm not as flashy as these girls. So what I do need to work on is setting up my punches and my timing and my rhythm and my footwork, set my footwork up to be more of a pressure fighter and throw my timing off so, I can set these punches up and eventually land some hard blows. Then I can get my hands on them. Then I can cage wrestle them. Then I can get them to the ground because I'm the bigger, stronger fighter here. I can get a hold of them. I can't stay on the outside round after round getting picked apart or trying to match them speed for speed. No, I got to get them to the ground where my strength is at its best. Okay. So yeah, Dern, she just has to start using what her body is capable of. I think it's important that she learns how to throw correctly, but it has to lead to her getting to what she knows how to do. All right. And that's what I mean by everybody does need to learn how to strike. Like they need to learn how to strike for what their style brings to the table. All right. Not everybody's going to be a pure boxer. No, like not everybody's going to be that. But you do have to know how to throw punches. And in this case, Mackenzie Dern, she really knows how to be lighter on her feet a little bit, or at least just know her stance and her overall balance. That would benefit her, But yeah, those are the three things I would say Mackenzie Dern really needs to work on is her footwork, defense, and just her overall style approach. I think she just has to be that physical type of fighter that looks to maul, cage wrestle, dirty box, heavy on the inside type of fighting. And eventually that'll wear her opponents down and she can get them down to the ground and, hey, drown them, submit them, So for her, that's something that she just has to figure out from here. But, hey, like I said, I'm not trying to bash fight her or criticize them. But what I've seen from all her fights, those are the things I feel like she needs to do. But if she doesn't utilize any of them things, I don't see her going. I don't see her going for the belt anytime soon. She's gonna have to do three. She's gonna have to do all three of those things, in my opinion. She's gonna have to get her a trainer that's gonna have her utilize all three of those things. But if she doesn't, as of right now, I don't see her getting it. I don't see her going to. I really don't see her making it to that belt. Zhang Weili, she made the changes. Rose, they made the changes. All of those fighters that have touched the belt, they made certain changes and utilized what they had, going by their size or their frames, and it worked for them. Even Carlos Esparza. But let's see if Mackenzie Dern, she can do it, y'all. If y'all got any other things that y'all want to see Mackenzie Dern work on, just leave them in the comment section. But yeah, I'm gonna come back with a few more of these corner talk videos because there's some other fighters I want to do videos on, especially like Angela Hill. I would love to do like a breakdown with footage in the background, but YouTube be dinging videos and they be flagging you once you use UFC footage. Maybe I'll have to do them on Patreon one day or something like that. If y'all want to see that, just let me know. Or go to Rumble. I do have a Rumble account. So, I might start going to Rumble or Patreon and, start doing like breakdowns with the actual video footage there with these corner talk videos. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section and I'll catch y'all with another corner talk pretty soon. Make sure y'all subscribe. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.